Hello and welcome to JC Talks. Steve Redgrave is a legend. He represented the sport called rowing and he was from United Kingdom. And what makes him so special is that this gentleman lasted for a very long time as far as his career is concerned. His team members kept changing, but he remained the mainstay of the team for a long period of time. And his greatness lies in winning 5 gold medals in 5 consecutive Olympics from 1984 to 2000. So, 1984 to 2000, 5 Olympics means it is something phenomenal. You will be able to see the picture of that guy, and this guy, when he was asked what is the secret of his success, he said a beautiful line. And the line was this: I practice even on a Christmas day. Ladies and gentlemen, it speaks volumes about the need for practice. But practice makes you, I'm sorry, practice doesn't make you perfect. Practice makes you better. When you play shuttle badminton every day, you get better and fitter. But if you have to become an expert, if you have to reach high performance levels, it's a different game altogether. You have to do certain other things right. I belong to a state called Kerala, which is down south. I studied in a college called Sri Keralavarma College, Thrissur. I was a member of the college cricket team. And we used to have practice every evening from 3 o'clock to 7 o'clock. Most of the days it used to be net practice only. Once in a while, we also have match practice. It is called the scratch match, dividing the total members into 2 teams and playing the game. That day, we were about to start the game, and as a medium pacer, I was given the ball to bowl. And I was marking my steps. And at that particular time, the person who was standing as the umpire was our coach. Our coach's name is Professor N.D. Subramaniam. He was an English professor and a great cricketing brain. And this gentleman is a terror. And he used to scold us left, right, and center whenever we made mistakes. And this gentleman walked up to me and said, bowl every single delivery at good length. I took the message, went, and I started bowling. First 4 balls at the good length area. What is a good length? When a batter bats 4 to 5 meters in front of you is called a good length. And all of a sudden, I came to know that this batsman is able to negotiate it well. So the famous statement of Shiv Khera came to my mind. Winners don't do different things, they do things differently. I came in and bowled a short pitch bouncer. The ball whistled past the batsman into the gloves of the keeper. Every member applauded and clapped for doing that. I was happy. I was walking back to the mark. Professor NDS stood in front of me and then asked, what the hell did I ask you to bowl? I said, good length. What the hell did you bowl now? A short pitch bouncer, you bloody bloke. I will kick your buttocks out of this ground. Go and stand outside the ground and come in only after I call you. I was dejected, disappointed, and distraught. And all my members, team members, were looking at me with sympathy. I walked out. I stood outside, looked inside. The action is happening inside. And in my inside me, I was really fuming for the injustice meted out to me. But after 20 minutes, he called me in. I came and he threw the ball at me and said, bowl every single delivery at good length. I kept bowling at good length because I didn't have the courage to experiment anymore. Once the match was over, I was walking. And at that particular time, he called me and said, Harish, I asked you to bowl good length every ball, one after the other, consistently and persistently, only because of one reason. I want to be an expert in doing that. Next match, I may ask you to bowl every single delivery at short length. Yes, I want you to master that as well. he was introducing me to a new concept in my life. It is called deliberate practice. Deliberate practice is not mindless repetition. It is mindful repetition. Doing the same thing again and again and again to gain expertise. So, is this applicable only in sports and games? Sorry, it is applicable everywhere. It is applicable for the principal of a college. It is applicable for a chef in a hotel. It is applicable for an engineer in a shop floor. It is applicable for a pilot of an aircraft. Everybody, this deliberate practice is applicable. And what happens? It came to my mind that I also must do that. And I improved my game and I was able to really reach higher levels of my game in club cricket, college cricket, district level, and even up to the university level. Only because I was doing deliberate practice. If you have to have deliberate practice, you have to do four things. Point number one, fragmentation. What do you mean by fragmentation? Fragmentation is dividing the topic or the bigger task into two different small tasks. So when you divide these small tasks and pay attention in that, you will be able to become a champion. When I was introduced, it was said that I'm a senior business associate with Life Insurance Corporation. When I become a senior business associate, I have to do a lot of things. And one of the things that I have to do is recruitment of agents, then training, then mentoring, then coaching. Then I have to do presentations in front of customers. Yes, all these require deliberate practice. When it comes to training, when it comes to coaching, one organization that has helped me stand here is Junior Chamber International, JCI. So this automatically helps me and gives me an opportunity to perform at higher levels. When we do small tasks well, and when they add up, they really can be done. The bigger tasks can be done at gold standard. The second point I want to speak about, the second element we have to speak about is strategies. I studied in a Malayalam medium school. Because of that, my language command over English was very bad. And I went for interviews after interviews in Madras, Hyderabad, Bangalore. But I was summarily rejected from each and every one of them. Reason? I have a very poor command over English. I asked a question to myself, how to change it. And there was only one thing I could do. I started spending time with the Hindu newspaper. Every day, 1 to 1.5 hours, I will spend with that newspaper. I will find out the word which I do not know. I will write it in a book. I will write its meaning. I will also write the sentences. And then I will repeat it once after the other and by heart it. When I go out, I speak to every Tom, Dick, and Harry in English. So that is how I was able to make a comeback. So there was a strategy, what to do and how to do about that. So once the strategy is over, the third thing that we have to do is discipline. You might have heard about a cricketer by the name Navjot Singh Sidhu. Navjot Singh Sidhu played for Indian cricket long back. He was an opening batsman and he was a great hitter as well. He used to hit sixes at will. But when he came into the Indian cricket team in 1983 and when he went to West Indies, he failed miserably because four fast bowlers, Malcolm Marshall, Joel Garner, Holding, Andy Robert, he had no answers to them and he was chucked out of the team. And then his self-esteem hit rock bottom. The cricket correspondent of Indian Express, Rajan Bala, wrote, Sidhu, a strokeless wonder. It was something difficult for him to accept. He went back to the nets. He started playing. Every day, he set a target for himself. 6 hours on the ground and also 125 sixes every day. He kept playing days in and days out. And he was able to really make his hands like steel. 1987 World Cup, Reliance World Cup, he made a comeback. First 4 innings, he scored half centuries. 36 sixes he hit in that tournament. The very same Rajan Bala had to rewrite Sidhu, a strokeless wonder, to a Palm Grove hitter. It was possible only because he did disciplined practice. So the third one after that, which we have to do, is monitoring. Monitoring is all about you have to have somebody to look at you, somebody to give you corrections, somebody to give you feedback. So I go back to my professor, N.D. Subramaniam. N.D. Subramaniam, sir, what he did was, one day I was batting. There is an offside and there is a leg side. And he placed two plastic cups 3 meters apart. He said, the next 18 balls you face, if you are able to drive one through that area, you will get $20. I tried my level best. Unfortunately, I could not get the $20. But he had a hearty laugh. He came to me. He adjusted my grip. He adjusted my shoulders. He adjusted my stance and then said bat. The next ball, I was able to hit through that particular area. It was only because there was a coach. A coach was able to really give me. If you can't measure, you can't improve it. It is an extremely important thing. What you have to do is, if you want to improve, if you want to excel, if you want to become a master at something, you need to have a mentor, you need to have a coach, you need to have a teacher, or somebody who will be able to give you the right kind of feedbacks. After all, feedback is breakfast for champions, isn't it? So, ladies and gentlemen, I was speaking about 4 elements required for deliberate practice. Point number 1, and it is all about fragmentation. Point number 2, it is all about strategies. Point number 3, it is all about discipline. And point number 4, it's about monitoring. So if you do all these 4, you will definitely be able to have a wonderful experience of doing deliberate practice. Deliberate practice turns amateurs into professionals. Deliberate practice takes people from mediocrity to mastery. Deliberate practice is something that ensures that you go places. We always say that there are 3 kinds of people in this world. Number 1, achievers. Number 2, gripers. Number 3, quitters. Quitters are people who quit at the first instance of a challenge. Gripers are people who always complain, always find fault. And achievers are people who go on to create great achievements in life. If you want to be an achiever, if you want to really make your careers great, if you want to excel in whatever you do, what we have to do is something called deliberate practice. Do deliberate practice and make sure that you reach the pinnacle of glory that each one of you are seeking for. It was a pleasure speaking to this audience, and JC Talks, I would say, is a real platform for me. Thank you, sir.